stage in an unlikely role.
Usually it's the music that draws opera goers, or maybe it's the set or the performers. But at this staging of Falstaff by the great Giuseppe Verdi, the biggest name is the director. And if you're thinking you don't know opera directors, look closer.
See him and keep him. Yes, that's him.
You just love music.
Well, yes, who doesn't? You know, as someone said once, life without music is wasted.
It's not music that makes Christoph Waltz recognizable or his work at this opera house in the Belgian city of Antwerp. Rather, it's his acting resume, notably his Oscar-winning portrayal of a cunning Nazi SS officer in Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds.
Alas, you're now in the hands of the SS. My hands, to be exact. And they've been waiting a long time to touch you.
Tarantino called the character the best he'd ever written.
That role changed everything for you.
Career-wise, yes, absolutely.
Ooh, that's a bingo. Is that the way you say it? That's a bingo?
You just say bingo. Bingo! How fun!
Prost.
Waltz picked up another Academy Award in another Tarantino film, Django Unchained, where he played a bounty hunter.
Like slavery, it's a flesh for cash business.
A role written specifically for him.
It was all me, James. It's always been me, the author of all your pain.
He also played a notorious Bond villain, Inspector.
You often play the bad guy.
Well, that's on account of my mug.
You think you look like a bad guy?
No, but it sort of lends itself to the bad guy.
How?
It's not, let's say, beautiful.
Nor, he says, is much of the world he sees around him, which fuels his choice in roles.
You know, this is the worst trait about small people. They're lazy.
The latest example is his role in the film Downsizing, out this week.
I ask myself, Dusan, why do people they want to become small? To help the environment? Please. They become small to have the things which until now were only for the rich, which, by the way, is the genius of the concept.
Waltz stars along with Matt Damon in this satire in which technology is developed to shrink humans in order to combat ills of the world, including overconsumption and overpopulation.
You know, our hubris needs to be downsized. Thinking that profiteering on Earth, on whatever level, environmentally, economically, culturally, is unlimited and everybody should get as much as he wants or she wants. Humans need to be shrunk again to their actual size.
Though in the film, even though they're smaller people, they still have a lot of the same problems.
Exactly. So physical downsizing won't really solve it.
Lately, he's seen outsized issues his own industry needs to solve. Disgraced movie mogul Harvey Weinstein was an executive producer of several of Waltz's films. We asked about those accusations of sexual assault.
Do you feel that a reckoning is overdue?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But we can't stop with Harvey Weinstein. That's just the tip of the iceberg. What do we do with it? Well, my tendency is to look at my life, look at what can I do. I think the housekeeping is the first thing.
To take the news and say, do a little soul searching.
Otherwise, it has no value for us.
He did not become a Hollywood star until Inglourious Basterds. Waltz was in his 50s when Tarantino did a casting call in Berlin and discovered the Austrian-born actor.
The exposure to the rest of the world doesn't happen on German stages.
He says finding celebrity later in his career changed his view of fame.
I am almost neurotically private myself.
Why?
Because I think it's an important distinction to make between privacy and public sphere.
He also guards his acting process, though we saw some of it revealed in the intensity with which he directs his actors, pushing them and picking up on the tiniest detail.
Do it. Yeah. With conviction as Bardolfo.
Or are there times that you want to get on stage and just do it yourself?
Constantly.
Is that frustrating?
At times it is.
So he's directing himself in an upcoming film, Georgetown. Annette Bening, whom he says he adores, is his co-star.
She knows about details. She knows about specificity.
She acts in the way that you like to act.
Precisely.
Waltz grew up in the very precise world of music. His stepfather was a composer. He's accompanied by his wife, Judith Holst, who designed the costumes for this performance, and sees everyday interactions as musical.
You listen, you look, and you try to find the harmony that you now improvise in.
You think a lot about music.
I do.
In some ways, as he shapes this performance of Falstaff, Christoph Waltz's professional life has rarely been in more perfect harmony.
Sometimes I do stuff where people say, why did you do that? And it's very simple. I do it because I've never done it before.
Sometimes it's looking at different roles to challenge yourself. Sometimes it's playing different parts altogether in terms of directing a film, directing an opera.
Yeah, it's all one. It's not the same, but all one. It's sort of being secretly hopeful that there is progress and development after all.